a minute about the foils. So today I decided to do a video on the most frequently used foils and what I feel are the best foils on the market. Now there is something to be said about this Braun Series 9. So we'll start here. This thing is an absolute beast. Can cut hair as long as a number 1. If you see this blade that they have in the center, this blade can pick up long hair. These just can't do it, okay? And when I first started working with this machine, I really didn't like it that much because I felt like I didn't have the ability to blend with it well. I noticed that it debulked great, it was quiet. I just felt like I was having a little bit of trouble when it came time to do the blending because I didn't realize that this wet and dry setting, so if you can see this right here, when I snap this little button to the top section, okay, it's in the dry cutting mode, which means that this head moves. When you snap this button down, this is locked. I can feel exactly where I'm at, and it's a lot more like blending with the Wahl 5-star electric shaver or the Wahl Finale. Once I figured that out, I really started to fall in love with this machine even more. There was an additional benefit that if I was working under somebody's chin and I realized, oh, I left a couple long ones, instead of going back to the trimmer, if it's just a small spot, I just push up on this and I have a little trimmer right there. Out of the arsenal of trimmers we have access to, you wouldn't think that I would be using that, but I do use that feature an awful lot. I wouldn't use it to try to make no edge ups or do anything like that. That's not what it's for. It's just like if you messed up and you left a couple hairs, okay, well, as I'm doing it, quickly, I have my thumb right there. I can switch right to it, knock that out, pop it back in, and I'm back to business. These have to be the absolute fastest skinning tool I've ever used on the market. They just shred through the hair. It is much faster and it is much more pleasant to have this machine on your skin. It does not tug, it does not pull, and it cuts just about as close as your Wahl Finale. I have a lot of clients, they thought they can't get skin fades anymore because they had really sensitive skin. So they couldn't tolerate the Wahl Finale and they couldn't tolerate the Wahl 5-star, and even worse, they couldn't tolerate Andis's Profoil. So these things were causing them to have bumps on the scalp. So when they came back to me, they said, you know what, man, do you think we could just do the 5-0 on the back and sides instead of the skin? And I said, why, what's up? And they said, well, I've been getting these bumps. I said, oh, okay, you know what? So if you had sensitive skin, I said, you know what, I'm just going to use this machine on you and I bet you won't get no bumps. And everybody that I've done this with that had that issue in the past has been like, wow, man, that was great. I didn't have a thing. I didn't have a thing. So they are certainly a lot more sensitive, a lot quieter, and a lot faster. And the link is in the description. You can go and check it out on Amazon. I'll put that in there for you so you can see that it is the Braun Series 9. This is the wet dry one. I realize these are expensive, but it's one of these things that is not money that is wasted, because there's another thing that I forgot to mention about these. Believe it or not, I went an entire Saturday intentionally not plugging them in. Okay, you see the battery indicator? It's fully charged right now. I really wanted to find how many haircuts could I actually do with this before it died, because I noticed that it was never dying. No matter how long I seemed to leave it off the charger, it was never dying. I went an entire Saturday and this thing only got down to the 2 bars. I probably did something like 20 skin fades that day and it never died. This is not a new machine, this is old. I've had this for probably a couple years now. The battery on my Braun Series 7 was also great, it was excellent, and that was a great machine as well, but it could not stack up against this. So battery life, they're quiet, they're smooth, they're easy on the client's skin, and they are just a total slam dunk, and there's nothing even close out there on the market today. There is another machine that I absolutely love, and it's the Wahl Finale. Now this machine is a lot smaller, lower in profile, very good for doing low fades, great for getting in tight spots, and I still feel like blending that skin line out sometimes is a little bit easier with the Wahl Finale, because it's got the power, it's got the heat, it's got the long run time, and it works excellent. However, it is a little rough on people's skin. It will give you some razor bumps from time to time. Some people, something happens with their shaver and it gets really, really loud, but it still performs well. That's one thing. These are a little bit cheaper. I'll put the link in the description if you're interested in this. I'll tell you right now, these two machines complement each other very well. So I always work with both of these. When I can, and I need to move quick, I want to get all the bulk I can, I get it out of the way with this one. I come back in and I clean up some of the little hard to reach areas, and I get in there and I do it with this one. Sometimes I go back and I just touch the blend with this one just a little bit, and other times I don't even use this one at all. But I really like having both of them. They made my job a whole lot easier, and this is a much better, much more powerful machine than the 5-star electric shaver, which has been a mainstay and a staple in the barber community for as long as I can remember. That machine has been fantastic, and this is obviously the evolution of it, and the technology is better and the battery life is better, so it's an all-around better machine. So don't get confused and think that, oh, it's just a lithium-ion battery, it's just got a better battery time. That's not my experience. My experience is this machine has more power and a better battery time, so it's a win-win with the Finale. And if in the future you have a lot of volume in your clients and you want to take care of those people with sensitive skin, the Braun Series 9 is really going to help you do that. A little bit of advice for you guys. Something I always do with all my stuff is I put a little discreet area on it. I don't know if you can see that. It says EM. Okay, I put a little discreet marking on it that's my own, because it's really easy in the shop. You might get them mixed up and wind up with somebody else's on accident if somebody asks you to borrow it or something like that. It's real easy to get them confused, and that's why I put a little marking on pretty much everything I have. I would advise you guys to do the same, especially if you're working in one of them shops that has a lot of people, because you never know, some of them shops got a lot of turnover and not everybody's all that trustworthy. So it's good to at least be able to prove something's yours. If they try to say, no man, it's mine, man, I bought this, blah blah blah, and you say, yeah, well, let me see it real quick, did you put my name on it? Because that's kind of funny, right? Ha, good little tip of the tricks of the trade, you know what I mean? I hope that I've cleared up any questions, issues, or concerns that anybody may have had regarding the foils that I choose to use. And again, I thank you for watching, I thank you for listening, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.